Okay, let's get into the transformation. I'm gonna try and do this in one shot, one kill. I've transformed this guy a number of times. I'm feeling pretty confident with myself. And the transformation really is, it's really fun. Reminds me yet again of the SXS Blur. The transformation is not something that's so difficult that you can't do it while sitting at a red light. And I know, trust me. So let's go through it. First things first. These pipes here are really scary when it comes to transformation. This is on a hinge, and it's gonna just flip open like that. It's really tight there, really tight, really tight. But I haven't noticed any scraping of the chrome or anything like that. And then that reveals this tab here, and already you saw we have this tab here. I like to take my finger, put it here, and just slide that open. That's on the sliding piece there. Twist the fist backwards this way. Take this portion and fold it upwards. There's a peg here and a hole on the inside of it, and it's just going to tab in like that. Once the fist is facing backwards like this, just fold it up into there. And that's pretty much all you have to do for that portion of the arm. For the feet, this whole heel deal here just collapses. So we're gonna fold it in and then fold it again. Now, when transforming him back to robot mode, it's really tough to get this piece out of there. There's no little tab or anything to pop it out, so you end up having to use something to dig it out. Hopefully, DX9 will address that. But in the meantime, this portion here just pops off there, revealing these two tabs. What I do is I go ahead and twist it up and rest this. This doesn't tab into here at all, but that's okay. Okay, so with the legs already prepped and the arms already prepped, the next step is to separate these two arm portions. Okay, so you see a peg here, peg holes where they plug in. There's nothing for the lower portion of the chest, and that's fine as far as security because these do a pretty good job. All right, so once that's removed, you can separate these two side pieces like that, and they snap in, they plug in via this tab and that port there. All right, once that happens, the whole upper portion of the body and the cab is now on this this hinge here and this sliding portion there. All right, so now you can freely move Rodimus's cab around. At this point, you want to twist this area around like that, okay, and flip his head backwards like that, okay. And you can go ahead and bring that up too. Why not? It's no problem. All right. These two pieces of his arm, you see here, are on double hinges here. Instead of doing it like this for the transformation to bot mode, you're going to take this single portion and bring it all the way up, collapsing the arms into the body or along the spinal line, I guess you could call it. And I'm no doctor. Now, those two portions tab together like this, and these portions of the arm fit there, like that. Pretty cool. All right, so here you can see space here. All right, you want to have this tab together, and then there are these two tabs here, and then there's slot holes there, and it's just going to fit down on them, and you'll plug it in, and it fits rather securely. So now, bow, that's his that's the front portion of the vehicle. Okay, from here out, you can extend these out, but it's not really necessary because you got so much to do with the trailer, okay? With the trailer up like this, go ahead and bring that windshield out and bring this portion out. There's a tab hole here, a slot hole, and a tab, and that just plugs in. It's not gonna plug all the way in because it still has to fit into the front portion of the car. That's okay, that's fine. All right, this portion here, adjusting the camera. And this is really getting into it. Okay, so adjust the camera. So now look, folding this up. All right, this piece here flaps out. You also got a piece here that folds out. All righty, do it on this side. Let's take a moment to notice some of the detail inside of that daggone roof. That's really hot because when you fold it out, you see this is a flat, clear surface right here. that line work was added additionally to the inside of the vehicle, even though no one will ever see it. I think that's really cool, man. They didn't have to do it, but they did it. Awesome. All right, so at this point, you're flipping this baby down like that, making that straight, okay? You're taking these two portions, the wings, they're on a hinge here and a hinge there. This part is kind of weird. There you go. You're just going to stretch it all the way out. Don't tab anything in just yet. All right, you have a tab here. You have a slot there. All right, you have a tab here. And you're going to see later on there's slots inside the legs to secure it all together. All right, also, this pipe pieces here are on a hinge, so you can rotate those up just to give you clearance, okay? At this point, we can now fold these pieces out. Again, I usually go ahead and fold these out in the beginning, but you can do it now if you so choose. So these rotate around, bow, and they fit securely inside of there. So fold that, fold that. I know you're looking like this, looking at this thing like, what the crap? This is a flippity flappity, but no, it's not a flippity flappity. It just looks like a flippity flappity. There are tab slots here. There are tabs there, and it's going to fit just like that. Now, here's the portion where it starts getting just a little fiddly because you have to tab everything in, all right? So you're going to fold the wing flaps down. Those slots that I showed you earlier, you're going to go ahead and tab those together. All right, so the cool thing about once you get these guys all tabbed in here, it really helps line everything up, okay? So you see that there are slots here, here, and here, with corresponding tabs on the inside of the wing down trailer flap, right? That's going to really help pull everything together, and you have to get those in there. The cool thing is you have a lot of clearance left over, so you're going to pop that one in, and then you're going to come over here and pop. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm going to pop this other one in. And it can be a bit of a hassle if everything isn't lined up. But the cool thing is some simple adjustments get everything in place really quickly. The first time I transformed this guy, I didn't have any concept of the inner tabs inside of here. So when I went to close the rear portion of it, it totally didn't work out, and I was totally upset. You see how this is going to slot. You have these slots. You have this tab here and the slot there. It should close, and this portion should fit in between here. And that can be a true sometimes getting that done. If you find yourself in a predicament where you can't get that to collapse, then it's probably because something else is not closed up, and that's this. Everything has to be closed up for everything to work. All right, so once it's closed up and you bring those hinges down, this is all now secure and becomes one unit, one solid unit. What up, Skullface? And then you come down here, and in the back here, you should now be able to finally tab this in, and it snaps in rather easily. It snaps in rather easily. Once you got finished doing all the hard work. So yeah, that's that. And that's his vehicle mode. And it's done pretty good. Some issues that I will point out with it. It can be kind of fiddly because you have to make sure everything is tabbed in. Obviously, you're doing some mass shifting here. So that in itself can become kind of problematic. Like as you see here. I'm telling you, if one thing isn't tabbed in, you're screwing the pooch on everything. But if everything is tabbed in, you're looking pretty good. And right now, I'm looking pretty good. Rolling, he rolls like a champ. Cool. Now, looking at his vehicle mode very quickly. In comparison You can already tell that Rodimus back here is far smaller than Hot Rod, and consequentially, he's smaller than Hot Rod would be with this trailer on him. I'm cool with that. I don't need him to be in scale with the MP09. As far as color usage goes, the Zakara version in itself is quite pleasing with paint, as far as paint goes. There's no disagreeing with that. Okay, dealing with the Carry on its own, I think it did an excellent job of pulling this off. I love the usage of paint. Here you've got different plastics to make this a little more flexible and have a little give for the transformation. And it's definitely necessary, because if this was a more solid plastic, especially about this area here and these wings, I could just see something snapping. So kudos to the engineer on that. An issue I have is the size of the cab, because whereas he's an MP figure, he actually becomes more of a generation scale figure in alt mode. But the funny thing is, it's like he's right there on the borderline. Let me pull some vehicles out and I'll let you see what I'm talking about. So, okay, here he is besides MP Ultra Magnus. And being that he's a Winnebago, I think that's a pretty good scale. I don't think it's too small. But then, and then you put in here's MP Red Alert, right? And that's where he gets lost. Okay, so you have an MP car vehicle, then you have an MP truck. Side by side with the MP truck, he looks pretty good. Side by side with the MP car, he still looks good, but there's something lost in the translation. And I think what it is not so much that his overall vehicle mode is too small. I think it's more about the cab. And yeah, if you do consider that, then you would say that, okay, this has to be a little bit bigger, but to make the cab, to justify the cab being a little bit bigger, which would make him a little bit bigger. And I just don't want to see him get any larger than that. So first of all, you're not going to put him in this alt mode. Come on. You're not going to do it. You're going to transform him a few times. When you're watching the movie, you might be watching the animated movie or some Bayverse movies, and you'll get him because you want to be in fan mode, and you'll rub the popcorn off your fingers, and you'll transform him, right? But then he's going to go right back to robot mode, right? He's going to go right back to robot mode. So, yeah, I don't think it's really a problem. All right. And then the next thing is that I don't want his alt mode, his bot mode, any larger than it is. It's a perfect size. It could be smaller, arguably, if you wanted to make him your Hot Rod. But he's not Hot Rod, he's Rodimus, so his size is pretty good. Here he is with Toy World Trace, who is my favorite mode from the Throttle Bot, surprisingly. But even there, with this guy being more of a generation size vehicle, it still was just a little bit off. And I think that really comes down to that cab being a little bit smaller than it should be. So that's where it's at. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to make him a little bit bigger, so then he's bigger than your MP10. Then you'd be crying about that. So look, god daggone it, take what you got, be happy. So no, I'm not saying that. I'm not justifying that because that's what Hasbro does. I'm just saying that I think he was executed really well. It's a really good figure. There are some things that could be changed. There are some things that could be different in a perfect world. Unfortunately, we don't live in that perfect world. If we did, I'd be doing this from a mansion. So until next time, people, I want to thank Brandon from the Chosen Prime. I want to thank Brian from the Prime's Council. I want to thank you guys for watching. And until the next review, deuces. I'm tired of the deuces. I need something new. Laters.